Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got John Palermo. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Stacks?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. I like your form, I like your platform, and I love your podcast, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. You have a wild story. We're in
Unique,
Chicago for this one. Yeah,
unique, I would call it.
very unique one. So you were born and raised in Chicago, right?
Yes, sir. Melrose Park, one of the most corrupt towns in the state of Illinois. The mob control that town, from the street sweeper to the mayor. Total corrupt.
What year were you born?
61.
When you were younger, when did you start realizing that your family
But,
was involved with something like that?
well, it started when I was younger. I loved going to my Uncle Nick's. There's probably pictures on the internet of Tony Accardo at my Uncle Nick's house. And his daughter married into my family. Now, I never knew who this guy was. I just thought he was a family member. He would come to Uncle Nick's at parties all the time. I would see him. And one day I sat down and started hearing him talking about Al Capone. And I said, who the hell's this guy? So I inched my chair closer to listen to the conversation, get your interest going. I started talking with him, started joining the conversation with these old guys. It was small talk, it wasn't nothing serious. But I asked Tony, I go, Tony, what do you do for a living? He goes, I work for the newspaper. And I asked my cousin, seriously, what does this guy do? He started laughing. He doesn't work for a newspaper. His stories, his name's always in the crime section of the newspaper. So, Tony Accardo, he's Al Capone's chauffeur. He was his enforcer, and he got a nickname from Al Capone, Joe Batters. So he finally asked Uncle Nick, who is that? That was a little boy, of course. He goes, that's Johnny. He explained who it was. So I stuck my hand to shake his hand, like he knew of me. I didn't know of him. So he took my hand. He pulled me closer, Stacks. I get emotional about this, buddy. He pulled me close. He hugged me and he kissed me on the forehead. So later on, I knew I was anointed to the family. You know what I mean? That's like getting crowned by the king, queen, So, and never mind, now that's the Palermo side. My mother remarried to my stepfather, and he was a gangster. So I got gangsters, all over me. And I said, oh my God, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. It's going to be adventurous,
Your stepfather, what was your stepfather's name?
Anthony Centracchio. He was known to be a boss. He was a top lieutenant for Joey Lombardo. And then he became a West Side boss. That was he known for. He's a boss in part of Wisconsin. And then his criminal info is online. You can find him. One reporter called him the most infamous gangster of his time. The man is old school. Believe me, he lived by the code, and he remained in the shadows.
He's very quiet guy, right? Very low key.
People don't know him. I'm trying to pull him out of the shadows to tell the story. That's when I knew. That's how I got my title of my book. See, as a young kid, I never bragged. I never told any of my close friends about what my family was about. I was embarrassed the conversation, Finally, I confided in one of my friends later on in life, and I told him the story about my family, and he goes, John, you're all mobbed up. I said, yeah, grown up mafia. That's how I got my title to my book.
That's the title, Growing Up Mafia?
Grown up mafia. All mobbed up, grown up mafia. Now, my first book was pretty good, but my second book's more hard hitting because I had to introduce myself, I feel, with this book. Because I have no name recognition. My last name was Capone, I would have no problem. But I found out you need name recognition for this. So let's go back to my youth. police. So my stepfather stepped in my life, and just the mafia just poured in my life. I mean, I had friends like Fred Calabrese Jr. I knew who's dead well, Fred Sr. The Spilotros case, that was part of our family crew, the Spilotros. Then some of his crew members, like a top thief, that's how I got started, is one of his top crew members who was a thief, he goes, let me take Johnny on and teach him the ropes. My stepfather goes, well, he was dead against it. I was 12 at the time. And I overheard this. And you think that's going to stop me? Hell no. Because I used to work out with him. He friended him. He was an older guy. It wasn't weird. See, Steve was a nice guy. He was neat, clean-cut guy. I mean, he was physically fit. And he thought working out with an 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy, to keep up with me, he thought he was physically fit. You know what I mean? One day we were working out. I mean, this guy was good. I mean, he was good at his craft. He was a top thief. They call him a struggle mob. I mean, we were walking through that thing of gravel after we worked out. I couldn't hear him walking on gravel. I looked back while she's like 2 feet. I said, Steve, how do you do that? He goes, what do you mean? And it came natural to him, I said, how could you be walking on gravel and I can't even hear you walking on gravel? He says, I don't even mean to say it was natural to him. He was just that type of guy. He walked soft, you know what I mean? He was a very good thief. So anyways, I overheard him asking my father to have permission to take me out to, teach me the ropes. Stuff I was dead against him. But like I said, overheard this. So next time I seen Steve, I convinced him to take me out. Now my house, the way it's set up, my bedroom's on the lower level, and my parents' room was upstairs. I would sneak out the window, at all hours of the night. They never checked on me. So me and Steve, we started thieving. He was nervous. I go, Johnny, what happened? He said, what if we get caught? Your dad's going to kill me. I said, Steve, relax, buddy, relax. We got this made. So we started stealing houses. They got, comfortable. Things started rolling and rolling. And there was just quite a few robberies that I could go over with. I was, number one, was shot at by the police. We were chased by the police. And we did a lot of inside jobs. Now, Steve brought something up to me. And I asked him, he goes, I used to rob houses where people are still in the house sleeping. I said, oh, you got to have a lot of balls to do that,
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I don't think I can do that. So, man, they were robbing. One day we came out of the house, and it so happens the local police were right up. He used the police scanner because he used to cut the wire to get in the house, and usually the alarm would go through the phone, back then. So, and he said, we only got a few minutes in the house. It was good. He cleaned out the house, and the matter of minutes we're out of the house. And he was like, he always thought, he was neat, and he always thought how to put the advantages on his side when he started, robbing the house. He just didn't find the house and robbed it, and that's it. He went through all the motions, So Steve, robbing the house. One day we walking out of the house like 3 a.m, just robbed it. And a police car pulls up. You can't control that. You don't know when they're going to pull up. That was just like a regular patrol in the town. So we got in the car. Cops started walking up towards us. And I seen Steve's foot. He's like holding the brake. And he's holding the gas. And I know exactly what he's going to do. Before you know it, the cop walked to the back door of his car. And he stepped out of the gas. We took off. I swear to God, I heard things like going past my ear, like bees, like bees.
Yeah.
The cop was shooting at us, Stacks. He was shooting at us. I ended up on the floor and to see the dashboard explode, And I'm screaming to Steve, and he's laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? We're going to get killed, So
you're getting older, right? You're getting older as the time goes on.
No, this is when I was 12. All this happened when I was 12. I was robbing with the guy. So, well, the thing I got in is because of the influence of being in the crew. You
Yeah.
knew all the crew members, and I got very close to a lot of them, and it's unfortunate because some of them, they got killed by the outfit. These
Yeah.
were my teachers. These were my teachers. Another time, me and Steve robbed a house. We got started chased by police again. And he goes, I'll turn the corner. And when I turn the corner, you jump out of the car. I go, what the hell is this about? He turned the corner. I got out. And evidently it worked because he had 3 police cars chasing us. So I ran to the backyard. And it did stop 2 of the cars. I knew he can get away. So I went to the backyard and I looked and there was like a rose trellis. So I jumped up there like a ladder and laid on the roof of the house. And I can see the cop's flashlight, go back and forth in the sky. And I can hear the belts, police belts clinging. They're in the backyard. I was laying on the roof and I knew they'd come back side. I go to the other side. But the moral of the story, what an adventure that was, buddy. 12 years old. And there's a lot of inside jobs we did. That's how this guy. And all this time was paid me like I was delivering newspapers. I
Oh,
said, Steve,
he was giving you money during this time too?
yeah, I was earning like him. I was taking the risk and he wasn't paying me. I don't feel my fair share. So I said, my risk is not worth this reward. He's not paying me. I don't want to argue with the guy. I don't want him to get in trouble with my stepfather. This
Yeah.
was between me and you. He was nice enough to take me out to show me the ropes. I said, Steve, listen. Well, let's go back a little bit. He showed me an article because in the village they have like police blotters. They got like the people who got robbed or whatever. At the village.
Yeah.
And he showed me in the paper one robbery he did, and the homeowner claimed that he lost $150,000. Prices, antiques, and all that. I said, Steve, we don't the jewelry. He goes, that's what happens because the homeowner claims more. So he's stealing from the insurance company, and we're stealing from him.